I know for some of you guys, this is going to be boring, tedious, old news. I'm not recording this for you. I'm recording this for those of you out there who need to hear, dear Lord, for the love of all things good and holy in this photography world, you need to create a new catalog each time you start a new project. You are like one corrupt file, one accidentally unplugged hard drive away from losing literally everything you have ever done in the past 6 years. So let's just jump right to it. I'm going to show you how to make a new catalog. So I'm going to keep my face out of this one just because it was getting in the way of my menus. So let's get right to it. You're going to go to File, New Catalog. Voila. And if you remember, we were working on the Williams family photos. So start off by labeling it catalog. I always label it catalog hyphen whatever it was, just because it makes it easier to like real quick see like that's where the catalog is, just, you know, ease. And then whatever project it was, so Williams family Xmas, and then the date, I'm just gonna put 2023 just in case we do it again. All right, hit create. Now, as it's closing it down, you may actually have to hit Lightroom again to get it to come back up. Voila, it's been a little weird ever since all the updates, don't really know, you know. All right, so then you're gonna hit E to get to library. Yeah, I know, it's really dumb, but it helps me remember my quick keys. So E for library. All right, now I know you want to hit import. You're not going to hit import. I have timed it and it is actually faster, and there's some other reasons too as to why I add folders, mainly because I just like how it organizes it a lot better. And then speed is always important to me. So you're going to click that little plus sign right there, add folder. All right, so you can see we're already in there. Come right over here, select raw photos, choose it. Boom. Okay. Now, one big part you see right here, it says copy as DNG, copy, move, or add. You do not want to copy it because it's going to create a copy of these photos somewhere on your computer that you may not know where, like pictures or somewhere that probably makes sense, but you may not think about. And it's going to store those, and you're going to really quickly fill up your computer's hard drive. So make sure you're not doing that. You don't want to move them because you don't want to move them. You want to just add. You're going to add these photos. Okay, now let me pop up here real quick so I can talk to you about this. Your build previews. You've got minimal, standard, and 1:1, and it feels weird because I'm going to talk a bit not to have my face. So, okay. So minimal previews are going to be your smallest size. I don't recommend using them just because it's going to cause you to think things are wrong with your photos that may not actually be wrong, such as focus, just because it is a lower quality of preview. Standard is great. But the difference between standard and 1:1 previews is that if you build the standard size previews, your computer still has to build a 1:1 preview when you go into crop or put on a mask or something like that. So if you ever notice while you're editing, there's that like split-second delay, like before it loads the picture, that's actually your computer building that 1:1 preview right then and there. So you can avoid that little time delay by building your 1:1 previews up front. But there is a significant time suck, like there's a difference between like the amount of time it takes to build standard previews and the amount of time it takes to build 1:1 previews. So if you're working with something smaller like a session, it may be worth it to build your 1:1 previews right out the gate. Totally fine. But if you're doing something like a wedding that has like some hefty bulk to it, you may want to wait to build those 1:1 previews until you decide what photos you're actually going to be working on. So that is totally up to you. But if you decide not to build the 1:1 previews up front, I can show you how to get to them for your future. Okay, back to it. I'm going to go ahead and just go with standard, and then all you have to do from there is hit import. And you'll see we start rocking and rolling. We've got two processes going. One is to bring the photos in when that's already like done, and one is to build those previews. All right. Now, like I was saying, if you didn't build those standard or those 1:1 previews right out the gate, or if you accidentally hit minimal, totally fine. In library view, go to library. Down here, previews, and you can select whatever size of previews you would like for it to build. Voila, right there. No harm done. You can do it at any point in time. All right, before we get rocking and rolling on this catalog and editing, we need to do a couple more housekeeping things. That is to hop right in here, go to Lightroom Classic, boom, pop down to catalog settings, voila. And you want to make sure that every time you exit, you are creating a backup catalog. Now, where you save that backup catalog, it's up to you. I save mine right with the original catalog on my hard drive. If you want an extra level of security, you can save it somewhere on your desktop. Just that way, if something were to happen to your hard drive, you don't lose all your work. It is totally up to you. But always create a backup catalog when you exit, just because it's going to save your work in case something were to happen to the original. Plus, each time you close down, it's going to optimize your catalog as well, which makes for more efficient work. So now we're going to pop on over here again, and you're going to go to preferences. Now you don't have to do the preference thing every single time. I'm just showing you where this is at. Okay. So right here, for the Mac users, it's not going to matter so much, but for PC, sometimes you've got two different processors and one is faster than the other. It goes way more into computers than I really want to talk, but if you notice you're lagging, double check that you're working from the right processor, which is right here. And then you also want to make sure your cache is set to 25, which is the largest it will let you do. And then every once in a while, make sure you're clearing out all that crud. And hitting purge cache. And then another thing, if you notice mid-process while you're editing, you don't necessarily want to close down, that everything's running pretty sluggish. You can optimize your catalog as well to help speed things up. Okay, that, my friends, is it. So for those of you who don't usually create a new catalog, I hope you see it is a fast and easy process that keeps you well organized and helps prevent you from losing a lifetime's worth of work.